Okay. So, what happened last time on the first session, everyone?
I sang great songs, and that goblin bled from its ears. I think that was beautiful.
Well, I burned a mushroom.
Certainly did.
Good times. Also, there might be some kind of scheme regarding the what were they? Blackfoot.
What about
Blackscapes?
you, Ichki? You
Right?
certainly did
The Black
well.
Horses.
Anyway, welcome to Kobold Kapers.
And so it is.
The Kobold Kapers,
Yes.
starring the wonderful and beautiful Arpo Mad Whiskers, the easily distracted magician of the group. HK, the warrior kobold who is pretty resilient and at the same time feels incredible relation to the dead. And of course, Vumis, the guy who goes heads or tails with a stick because it inevitably hits either his head or tail.
Great stuff. But it has been a few days since your little excursion in the underground. It's not exactly given you...
What have you been doing since then?
Well, I know that Arpo's been up to stealing some stuff, making some money.
There you go.
What has everyone else been doing?
Foomies wants to find new music to sing, or perhaps new potions to revive his comrades who don't want to listen.
What's Combo's little guy been up to?
Recovering from a assassination attempt by my fellow party members.
That wasn't assassination. That was witnessing my emergency spider attack.
Oh yeah, that was quite a way to start off your adventure, yes. But it is now a few days later.
I'm sorry, but you survived, didn't you?
And as it is a few days later, you've all had your average days. It was quite the adventure for you, but at the same time, it all fades away, and it's nothing compared to what most people are really up to. Because the people upstairs are the ones that get the big fame and fortune. They get the eyes going, oh. But now, you've well, actually, a few days is hard to measure because you live underground for the most part. You don't really go outside much. It's really you've been to bed a couple of times since then. Although Arpo, who does go outside, would probably know somewhat the track of time.
Do I have any means to measure time?
You could go outside, but you really don't have any reason to go through that tunnel network most of the time. Like, if you want to see what time it doesn't really matter for you because you live underground. Like, it's whenever you wake up, that's when day is. Everyone just
Isn't
sort of
there
sleeps.
some kind of a restricted? Isn't there some kind of a regular time schedule for the kobolds?
They don't really
Do
need
they? Oh, so they go to bed and wake up whenever they.
Yeah. So
Individually
the mines are
want.
basically always busy with whoever is awake at that time.
Oh, okay.
Well, we could rig some kind of mirror system to.
Well, the closest entrance, which is pretty close to the surface and is not that far off, like no major tunnel system, is the entrance the dragon uses when he comes for tributes. And there are like the priests who sort of keep track of time most of the time. But for the most part, it's not like there's an extensive like need for keeping track of time.
All right.
The guards might, because the guards have to know like when it's day, because that's most often when heroes decide to show up and mess with the traps and such. But the average miner, which is what you basically are, you really don't need to keep track of time. Unless you're Arpo, who kind of has to. So I imagine that Arpo has some knowledge of like when day is. He has sort of a second sense for that sort of stuff.
So when do we meet, and at what time?
Well, you are kind of involved by the captain of the watch to take care of a small little task. You can all roll me. Let me see what this would be. Let's just say a history
What do
check.
I roll?
Roll history to see if you know if this day has any specific significance. Kobo, you've been paying attention much of your life. You know that today is like once a month. Like, you have this vague sense that this is around the time when the kobolds do business with the orcs, who carry out raids and thus get access to finer materials, resources, and stuff. And the kobolds have access to lots of metal, and they sometimes just organize little trades every once in a while. Kobolds bring a magical chest filled with iron, and the orcs bring some fat money.
And
Kobolds
Woomies
like
just
shinies.
thinks, oh, today is a day I found an acorn.
Como with his
And
five.
he goes to Arpo in each game. Like, oh, I found an acorn. They basically grab him by the tail and say, no, you're coming with us. Today is a more important day than this.
Yes, they would probably forcefully come along. Like, communist society or not, like, everyone being equal, there are some people who have to pull lines so everything stays functional. And in this case, that's Ozilp. Or Oslip. Oh, wow, what is that, Como? That's a cool thing, Como, the little harness. But you are called to, which doesn't mean much, because in these warrens, it's like the guards are just, this is the place where we keep all the weapons and trap components, and that's where the guard essentially exists for the most part. But as you show up, you see Captain Ozilp, who, in case you haven't forgotten, is a purple kobold, who misses an eye. Wears a nice little, eye patch. And as he's picking his teeth, he sees you coming closer, and he just asks the simple question, if you know what day of the month it is. He gives you that look like he's not expecting any answer. So who's going to answer his question?
Woomies cannot because he had his mouth slammed shut.
Oh, what was the question?
What day it is. If you know what day of the month it is.
I just told you guys. Let's see if you paid attention.
Uh,
I roll my eyes as I mentioned. It's the Orc Trade Day.
oh,
Well, you might be soft skills, but at least you're not soft in the brain. But there's also another day. A lot of traps have been sprung recently, and so, you know, we don't exactly have the manpower to spare for this usual trade. So I think it might be good to see if you can handle some sunlight without burning up.
Can we get some goggles?
Ozil sort of reaches over to a nearby shelf and pulls out some very sloppily made, like smoked glass goggles. They'll protect your eyes, but it's kind of hard to see with them on.
Woomies bites one of the glasses.
It's
It doesn't
really strong
bite
glass.
through.
It's strong glass, so it hurts.
Woomies quietly goes, ow.
Of course, I'm not sending you alone. I wouldn't trust any of you with the chest of money you'll be getting. And,
Woomies stops picking the goggles with his little dagger and goes,
Money!
you'll be getting money. You'll be leaving with iron. And behind him, you see a winged kobold who has like some pretty fancy gear compared to what you are lugging around.
oh dear, winged kobold.
A dragon rot is what they're called. In this particular tribe, they command respect of sorts. Because they can fly with the wind.
Woomies sort of prostrates himself on the ground before the winged kobold.
It's not that important. Come on, get
He
up.
likes to do that sometimes. It's an expression of, ooh, you're interesting. People like it.
But the Ozilp,
Yeah, but Woomies forgot to turn around, so he prostrates himself on the ground, face up. So he kind of plops on the ground and looks at Winged Kobold with adoration.
the winged kobold just rolls his eyes. He can't believe he has to put up with these kinds of folk. Putting all that aside, Ozilp helpfully instruct you, in case you have forgotten, where the entrance to the warren is that you'll be taken, which is the one near the ground floor. The dragon entrance is all the way at the top and not meant for like conventional entrance, so you'll be going through a tunnel network first. You also see that there's a large chest coming in. Looks way too big for... There's 4 kobolds carrying it, but you couldn't believe that 4 kobolds could actually carry a chest of this size.
oh.
Like, this thing is about the
This looks
size of
big.
a 1 to 1.5 person bed. And pretty deep.
Oh.
This looks big. Also, everything is upside down.
How are we supposed to carry this thing?
They're carrying it. And don't
Oh.
worry, it's magical.
Alright then.
Like, they drop it on the ground and it doesn't give as much of a quiver as you would expect a large container filled with metal to make.
Okay then.
I'd like to roll wisdom for. I'd like to roll intelligence for Rumi's not to try and pick the chest with the dagger.
Go for it. You feel that it's a sensible decision not to try to pick the expensive chest. Especially not with the guard
The
captain
Rumi's-
right there.
The Rumi's inner consciousness goes, yeah, good job.
So, are your soft skills up for the job?
We're not soft.
Sure.
Good.
You are
Yeah.
pretty soft, admittedly.
Kid.
You're barely
It's
adults.
because you like to hug me.
You bunch of barely adults. Don't even try to speak out of line.
Alright. So
Rumi shuts up.
we're just escorting the chest.
He snaps his finger and sort of points at the dragon rot behind him. He'll know the way. Just follow along and make sure that they don't trip or something. We've done this enough
Alright.
times, nothing ever happens.
Will do.
This means something will happen.
Roll me inside.
I just have a feeling for this.
Oh, I can roll inside as well.
You can roll inside as well. If you wish. You can always just not be suspicious. Como, you get the strong feeling that there's something going on. But you don't know
This
what
is
it is.
unusual. Yes.
Yeah.
You get that feeling that you usually get when you see like a bunch of usually referred to as soft skills getting affectionately sent on a mission to prove themselves.
Something tells me that we're being set up, or at the very least the tribe is getting set up by the means of being stretched thin, because the traps.
The fact that Arpo's picked...
Are
you
you
can
sa-
tell
are
that
you
also,
saying it out
also
loud?
picks his teeth and it's just like, what are you doing with your nose?
Kevin's the nose.
No.
Well, you shouldn't lollygag. This needs to be delivered. So get your goggles on. Try not to get your eyes burned out by the sun.
No, that's a big problem.
The carrier kobolds are like sort of dedicated carriers. Like these are specifically trusted with this job. Because it's quite the honor to carry a large quantity of stuff that they away like this. Because, you know, it's part of everyone, so they hire people that are sturdy bodies, that are stronger than the average person. You feel that in a pinch, you could probably carry something like this if you really had to, and the veteran guide you along down the tunnels. You've generally not been this direction, past where the heaviest traps are, because it leads to the civilization. Arpo has been here, and Arpo knows the way as well.
Yeah, I'm usually traveling at like night or evening, so to avoid the whole sunlight blindness thing.
You can travel
What
like during
kind of
dusk and
time
dawn.
it is?
to-
Is
to-
it dark time or bad time?
It's actually early morning, which may have been intentional. Like this trade, as far as Como knows, is very tightly organized. Like this is not just set up on a day. It's like, okay, we'll do this today. This is organized well ahead of time. I mean, it would be
Yeah,
kind of funky if you
Ruben,
just showed up
should-
at a meeting spot and you sort of hope that the other person also shows up. So,
Should Rumi's not put on the glasses, how big of a damage will his eyes sustain?
you basically take disadvantage on attack rolls and on perception checks as the sun shines in your eyes.
Yes.
But otherwise, you're not going to like suffer any sunlight damage. You're not a vampire.
Well, that still would be a bad idea.
I mean,
Okay.
on the plus side, you could train yourself to become resistant to sunlight, but that would take a while, and it would not be very fun.
So first, Vumis puts his sunglasses on his tail. Then he figures something is wrong and puts them where they should be.
So these
Oh
are
boy.
rather shoddily made. Like, this is not the kind of sunglasses you would give to the professionals. They're a little bit improperly made. They don't properly fit, but they get the job done. You guess.
Vumis goes,
These are the prettiest sunglasses I've ever seen.
So the
which is
big-
true because he's only ever seen these.
Yeah, you've rarely seen them. You've seen them like once or twice on like guards that come back from the deeper parts of the tunnel, maybe. But they wear nicer ones that actually have like proper straps and such, instead of being made out of flimsy mushroom fibers.
Mushroom fibers.
But now that you're outside, the big benefit of being outside is that you can see the trees.
Ooh.
Also, notice you still have a disadvantage on perception rolls because of the glasses, because they are dark.
Yeah.
They're not well made enough that they just block out sunlight. So your dark vision kind of doesn't work. It's like it's not blocking out sunlight. It's just dark. But as you go outside, you can actually see colors, which is something you don't generally see because you're generally not around light sources. And seeing all the beautiful greens and this big blue sky always elicits feelings within kobolds.
That's a lot
nice.
of green.
Fresh air.
Fresh air is a strange feeling.
Vumis wants to sneak up on all of the colors. He wanders away from the group and starts sneaking around, looking to see if he spots anything, trying to remain as much as unseen as possible. He strongly thinks,
I am color. I am color. Whoa. I'm beautiful and colorful.
so yeah, I'd like to stealth myself.
Arbo's turn, please, for a second.
Arbo goes looking for some berries and mushrooms while he's here.
Arbo will have to roll me some survival. Whereas Vomis is going to have to roll me some stealth. What are you doing, Ichi? Ichiki? The veteran, by the way, and the carriers are... The veteran is in front and the carriers are, like, right behind him.
Just making sure that nobody runs off.
There's already, like, two
So
people
are
running
you going
off.
to grab us by the tails, or...?
Dragging by the tail is probably very impolite. I would instead attempt to grab the nape of the clothes.
Well, the main reason it's considered impolite to grab a kobold by the tail is that it's sort of a sign of, like, you're a child and I'm the adult. It's asserting dominance in, like, a very humiliating way.
Yeah, it's like grabbing by the ear, except by the tail.
Yep, so I'm grabbing by the nape of the clothes. Or by an actual nape.
You can't grab both, because they kind of just run off together, so you have to pick who you want to stick around.
The most
You can
volatile
grab
one.
me!
The Vumis, yes.
Roll me an attack roll.
Oh my god.
Do I roll acrobatics against it?
You can if you wish. Como, you could just roll dexterity saving throw. It's the same bonus.
On the one hand, I would like to. On the other hand, rolling acrobatics in this particular thing would lead to much better storytelling. So,
You're rolling against me though.
yeah.
Vumis does not manage to escape and is grappled by Como. Grabs onto him.
But I was
However,
sneaky.
Arpo manages to sneak off into
Uh-huh.
the bushes. You were not.
If you
next.
get eaten, it's not my problem.
I mean, this is a woods with like wild animals in it. It's not like this place is like cleaned up.
Exactly.
I've been through here a few times, so I figure I know this
Arpo,
place.
Arpo knows what
Yeah,
traps
well
look
enough.
like and knows where hunters generally go.
Hmm.
You also know that you stick to much of the mountainside. Like you're sort of sitting on the edge of the woods for the most part, which makes sense because if you go deeper into the woods, we're more likely to find hunters and such.
Yeah.
And after a little bit of time,
Yes. Yes.
I want you to all roll me perception at disadvantage.
Perception.
Such nice high rolls that go away. Well,
How do you roll at a disadvantage, actually?
There's
there's
a
a
button
button
that
at top.
says normal, advantage, and disadvantage
and you click the one.
in the
Oh,
profile. Yeah.
oh, yeah, okay. Thank you.
Clickety click.
So rolling it at an advantage or disadvantage basically makes you roll twice and keep the higher or the lower result.
Exactly.
Okay. Well, let me try it again then. Because
It's gonna
Bada
take a
bing,
moment.
bada boom.
same.
There we go.
Como, you actually notice
Yes.
that right up ahead are like two people. They look like hunters. They're standing around a trap containing some sort of animal.
People. Are they kobolds or something
They
else?
are people. They are humanoids. You can't tell them apart because you've not seen enough humanoids, but they look different from each other.
Huh. I would like to warn the guard about this
The
in case they
veteran-
haven't
you mean
noticed
the winged
because they
kobold?
rolled lower than us.
The veteran kind of grumbles as you point the right direction. He snorts and says what the plan is, because if they go deeper into the woods, they risk running into an animal or a hunter as well. But if they go out more to the mountainside, it's more likely to get caught. And they're carrying this is a big chest. You can't just hide this thing very easily when you're moving through woodlands.
So we have to clear out the path.
In some fashion.
Well,
he kind of
as
just
long
gives
as
a
they don't-
smirk and goes, "You can handle this. You can handle some tall legs."
Vummies would like to sneak up on these.
Am I in any way aware of these hunters?
When Como pointed it out,
pointed
he
it out.
probably
Yes.
snuck a peek as well.
Oh, yeah, like Arpo pokes his head out of a bush. Oof.
Out of a bush. A bush.
Oh. I might have an idea on how to distract them.
Go ahead.
So are they... Do I recognize what kind of humanoids these are?
One of them is most likely an elf, and the other one looks like a regular human.
Do they look like just your normal hunters or an adventuring party?
They just look like hunters, especially since they're standing around a trap of some sorts. Like they're standing around an animal that seems to be restrained.
Okay.
In the meantime, Vummies disappears.
What kind of animal?
Did
it
they
seems
catch
to be a
an
deer.
animal? Uh-huh.
Fumi's doesn't
Okay,
disappear.
I'm going to cast Prestidigitation to create a sound of a... the sound a deer would make
What is the
like,
intention behind this?
to lure them away, to make them think there's a more stuff to hunt, maybe a more valuable deer, or however they value such things.
All right. Well, since you're making a noise, they are now performing an active perception check, and one of them actually beats Vumi's. Because when someone is alert, they start making active perception checks. So one of them notices Vumi's, and he shouts, "Kobolds! There's kobolds!" They only notice Vumi's. So far.
Job, Vummies goes.
Another Prestidigitation, this time for bear.
Okay, that'll be a will save. These are relatively simple people. You have to roll me a deception check to see if you can actually make a or nature, whatever you think applies here.
Deception.
Yeah, yeah, they're not buying this. They know that something's up. Those kobolds and their magics.
Both of them are alert.
Yeah, the bear sounds like a kobold making a bear sound. Rrrr.
I mean,
It's
both
a
of them
very
are
small
alert to the to Kobold presence right now.
They only see one.
But they cried kobolds.
Yes,
They
but they
cried kobolds.
only saw one. They probably assume there's more.
Yeah, well, there's one kobold. There's.
Roll your initiative.
Oh heck.
Where is it again?
The veteran is staying out of this. Like,
Um,
he's keep making sure that no one tries to get the cart where you solve this.
Where's the initiative again?
At top.
Under the advantage
Buttons.
button.
Oh, yeah, thank you.
Buttons. So the elf is a 15, and this guy has a 10.
So basically, you spooked Vumis with your deer and bear noises. Thank you very much.
On the plus side, you basically have the advantage, because you get to go first.
Oh. Oh, you mean me?
Arpo gets to go first, actually.
Ah.
Okay. I'm going to cast Disguise Self. To make myself look like a halfling woodsman.
What are you trying to get out of here?
I'm going to try and lead them away.
Currently, they're
Like-
interested in Vumis, who would have to vanish in some fashion before they would actually go away.
Hmm.
But sure, you managed to disguise yourself. To what you managed to make a pretty convincing case out of it as well, because you've seen halflings before.
Yep, I'm Okay, so I'm casting a spell, make myself look like a halfling forester or whatever they have, and then I'm going to try spinning a tail out of a force of kobolds in that direction, pointing away from us and where we are going.
Okay.
So, wait a second. Wait a second. They spot a kobold, and immediately, from basically the same direction, springs out a halfling, saying, "No, the kobolds are over there." Yeah,
This is
sure.
the problem I have with your plan.
Well, it's a plan.
On the downside, one of them is able to pierce your disguise using an intelligence investigation check. Immediately shouts that it's a trap, and they're gonna go and run and see if they can get help.
Crap.
Itchkey, it's your time to shine.
No, they won't, if we can help it. Let's see what I can do with this. First of all, I would like to do this. A fog cloud
Or
centered on them.
centered on them. They are now surrounded by fog, which mysteriously appears around them as a halfling is spinning a tail of them. Your case is all the more solid now.
Hmm.
Do you move in any way?
Yes, I'm attempting to flank them. I'm gonna try to move parallel to where they're running.
Okay, well you managed to effectively get to the other side of where they would probably start running towards.
Yes.
It is now Elf's turn. Ugh, and my chest is hurting. The elf can no longer see anything, and is actually somewhat discombobulated as he hears this halfling still talking about how the kobolds totally went that way. He's seriously confused, to the point that I'm gonna actually make him roll the saving throw on that to see if he. Oh yeah, he actually manages to keep his wits about him. And unfortunately, he doesn't quite he lost his bearing because of all this stuff happening around him. Like he whipped his head and saw Vomis, and then he whipped his head and he saw the halfling, and now he's in a fog cloud, so he can't really make out where he is. So I'm going to roll random direction for him.
Human.
He walks out away from the woods, meaning that he's actually going opposite the direction of where Ichki is standing. And he's going to roll this with disadvantage, but he's going to try and hit Vomis with one of his javelins. What is it?
So the human is going to target Vumis.
Okay, Vomis, you are hit by this. No, wait, it's disadvantage. Okay, in that case he misses. So, he throws a javelin at you as he comes out of the fog cloud, and it lands right at your feet. Vomis.
Okay, so... I don't think I can constrain him reasonably. Can I throw a dagger and attempt a vicious mockery at the same time?
Vicious Mockery is a bonus action?
Okay, so I can.
I mean, I'm asking you. I don't know if it is.
No idea, let me take a look.
It is an action, so you can only do one or the other.
Well, alright. so
Wait.
basically...
Let me check one quick thing. What are the components of this? Oh, it's only verbal. I'll let you throw the dagger, but at disadvantage.
So Vumis instinctively whips out a hand with the dagger in the direction of the javelin, and sends out,
You throwing daggers at me, you vicious, you blood-sucking, vomit engorged fuck me.
Well,
Okay, that's actually impressive.
okay. Does not make a save, whatever that means. Next attack roll. Okay. So their next attack roll is going to suck anyway. And then the dagger. You can just click your dagger like this and throw it. Oh heck! Oh heck!
Whoa.
Your dagger flies through the air. Oh
and
wow!
into the mouth.
Yeah, it's actually enough to one-shot them. You actually managed to one-shot someone. By telling them mean words and hitting them with a dagger right between the eyes.
As the
Just like a
famous
running
kobold
gag.
LK Pone said, speak harshly and carry a sharp dagger.
He did
And
this to the Mushroom Man too.
Vumis has a great dagger hand. But with that actually leaves me with the question of what to do. Well, the human doesn't know, I guess, so he's just gonna do what he does. The human walks in the proper direction, because unlike the elf who was, like, shaking his head all over the place, he still knows where he's going, so he starts to make a run for it. He runs right past Ichki, doing so. So Ichki can try to make an attack, or do whatever he wants as an attack of opportunity. Though while this is happening, the human takes a swing with the dagger he has in one hand. He has a bow in the other.
Just suppose I can attack as well.
Yes, because he's going to leave your threat range afterwards.
Yeah.
Oh, he actually lands a hit. That's nice.
Oh.
Am I dead again?
You're actually left with 1 hit point because he does 5 damage and it just slashes you. But you still get your attack of opportunity with whatever weapon you wish or have ready.
Nice.
I'll have to stab them in the leg.
You
That
actually do
adventuring
a
days
significant
are now
damage to the human who sort of
over.
stumbles as he walks on.
There goes your femoral artery.
He might not make it, but you never know. Arpo, it's your turn again. The human is visibly confused and pained. This is not a nice way to go.
You better shoot them down, Arbo.
Okay, how many of them are left?
Only the human.
Only
There were only
one.
2 of them, really.
Okay, and I would have my casting of the last spell triggered a wild magic surge.
Nope.
Oh, too bad. Okay, I'm going to then crossbow the Yumi. Chunk.
Crossbow the human.
Flick! The bolt flies through the air and strikes the human, hitting him in between the ribs. This is a well-trained hunter because he still manages to start hobbling on. Can all of you roll me a perception check? Not with disadvantage because you're trying to hear something. Arpo does have disadvantage because he's quite a distance away.
Perception.
Oh.
So, the human mutters something about saying that he should not have gone into the woods as they told him to today. Ichki, it's your time to shine.
It would be, well, I mean, from what we've heard, at the very least, they are aware going here is dangerous. But it would be a shame if we miss out on an opportunity to actually enforce the rule. So what I would attempt to do is to cause fear on the guy. I would imagine he's pretty terrified, and that would be an advantage. But I'm
As
not
a
sure
quick
how that would
cultural
work for
note,
us.
you do note that within your particular tribe's culture, it is considered an honor to come back with blood of a long leg on your weapons, and also that it's kind of frowned down upon to let them just walk off. But that's on you, by the way.
I know, I have both. In any case, I can probably make my point that enforcing the rule would be better. Without, you know, causing the ire of whatever settlement
So
is
what
there.
are you doing?
I would like to attempt to cause fear on him and scare him as badly as he can. Considering I'm a dragon rod, I can probably pretend that I'm a dragon or something in his mind. If I succeed.
Well, let's okay. Well, he's technically already frightened and running away, so I'm gonna give him disadvantage on this roll. For it to become
And
a
nobody's
magic
gonna
effect.
see me do. Nobody's gonna see me because there's still the fog wall.
Well, you're on the other
Again,
side of the
what are
fog wall where
the-
he is, so he can see you.
I'm sorry, what are the honor
He can see
rules
me.
for our tribe?
My team can't see me.
Well, the main thing that I just mentioned is just the rule of don't let people get away. Like, the hiding the tribe is important, and hiding the tribe involves not letting people go away with him. Like, this is a unique situation because this guy doesn't actually know where you're from, but he does know that you're here. Is the point?
They already know that we're here. At the very least, he's gonna be like. He's gonna confirm that it's a bad idea to go here.
Like, you don't live in a society where there's tight honor rules, because it's more like practical, this is what you do rules. Just do your thing and help the tribe.
It's interesting that these people were aware of at least of the significance of the day, and that they've actually warned people not to go here instead of trying to eliminate the kobolds.
Well, attacking a kobold nest is a war of attrition without a proper
Yep.
plan.
Which is why if we start just outright killing people,
I mean, it's not like kobold deaths are uncommon around here. Oh, so. So, you're going to cause fear? He's failed that one. So he's going to keep running. Now it's up to Vomis to actually let him get away.
Do we want to let him get away?
at least that's what I would attempt to do. But
You're allowed
yes,
to,
Why would you want him to get away, actually?
because he wants
To
people to
enforce
say
the
that
rule.
they're scary.
well, my point is that if we start killing random hunters, they might actually consider making it harder for us to do these kind of transactions in the future. But it's up to you. Maybe I just enjoy scaring people.
Bunnies would like to throw some words of vicious mockery in the human's back. While at the same time running to protect Ichki as he slumped onto the ground.
Well, go ahead and roll me Fish's Mockery. He makes his save.
No.
But with that, you see the human vanish between the trees, running off. I need to look something up real fast. The fog cloud has dissipated, actually. Dissipated the instant you cast Cause Fear. They're both concentration spells, hence why. So you now are left with the deer, an elf corpse.
Ooh.
So the veteran just walks up and just gives a disapproving look at y'all. But that's just him. The chest is carried onwards,
Hey, we did drop one of them.
which is something. He says tersely.
Yay! Something.
Vumis would like to search the elf.
Okay. It's kind of difficult to
Take his
actually search
dagger,
a body with all
bloody.
this darkness in your eyes, but you do
I
manage to...
I temporarily remove the glasses.
The light is extremely bright, But to be fair,
Probably
it's one or
shady
the
enough
other, really.
considering it's the woods.
You managed to scavenge a
but-
couple of silver pieces off his body. I should not have closed that, but here we go. Eh.
And I have a bloody dagger.
You do.
Okay.
Yay! And also, once that is done, I'd like to cast Healing Word on each game.
God damn, that human stole my crossbow bolt.
Stole what?
My crossbow bolt.
You also have a few javelins and a dagger on the elf. They're decent
More
quality.
daggers.
Alright. How many javelins?
There's still like 2 left, and the one that landed in front of Vomis is still intact.
I'll snag the javelins.
Cool.
And yes, and Vumis would like to cast a Healing Word on each game.
Okay. Roll me your healing words.
Level 1.
Ooh, that's a strong heal.
Heck.
You're feeling A-okay.
So Vumis basically goes to each key,
Hugs him with all his might and says, "Don't you fall down like that. It isn't good."
Y'all get
Yeah.
70 experience points from this encounter.
Oh heck.
Do I write it down? Where do I write it down?
On your experience section.
Do we make it to
13,
level
10.
2?
Yes, you do.
310.
You are now slightly stronger, boys.
Heck. And girls.
Bada bing, bada boom.
Actually, hold on a second. I'm going to play you a little ditty for this particular case. There you go. Do we level up right now?
You can if you wish. I'm not going to enforce a level up, but if you feel that you can do it real quick, go for it.
Can we do it little quick?
The level ups in 5 here are pretty slick, so.
What? Oh, there. Oh, javelin. Right.
So, what do we do with level ups again?
Okay, so what are you again? You're a bard, right? Let's see what... level 3 is going to be a bit bigger, but level 2 I think is just kind of small. What do you get for a level up? Heck. Oh wow, you get a bunch of stuff actually. You get to learn a spell. You get another level 1 spell slot, so that's real cool.
Where do I drop the spell slot?
The spell slot is automatically added when you level up. Look, you now have 3 spell slots and you have 2 remaining.
Alright. Thank you.
There we go. So it's all taken care of. But for you specifically, you also get Jack of all trades, which is really nice. What it does, it does the following: you had half your proficiency bonus rounded down to any ability check that you made that you don't have proficiency in. So let me just turn that on for your character real fast.
Thank you.
Bam. Basically, you are now slightly good at everything you do.
Yes.
You also get Song of Rest, and this is a real nice one. Let's see. You can use soothing music or oration to help revitalize wounded allies during a short rest. Anyone that can hear your guff regains 1d6 hit points during a short rest.
Yes.
So you're basically a bonus hit die. You also get HP increase, which in your case is 1d8 or a flat 5, depending on what you want to do.
Flat 5. 13 sounds nice.
Yeah.
Do either of you have positive strength? Or at least non-negative strength?
Vomis has non-negative. He's actually pretty strong for a kobold.
I have a flat 10.
Okay.
HP also has flat 10.
Okay. Does either of you want these javelins? I actually can't really throw them that well.
Can I use a javelin as a quarterstaff? Basically like a good and tuck mace.
You could technically use it as like a spear or quarterstaff, because for you it's pretty long. For a human it would just be a stick, but to you it's actually long enough to use as a spear or staff.
Yes.
Ooh, Combo gets a spell slot and an arcane tradition. And 2 spells. So what?
I really like this level up ditty from Pyre. It's incredibly beautiful.
Man, Como gets the cool stuff.
Yes.
Sorcerer.
Awesome.
Sorcerer.
Oh.
Which means today I'll be able to cast one extra spell, but I'll need to pick one.
Man, that laughing kobold's just hilarious.
So where do I put the new spell?
You'll learn a new spell, yes.
Or do I have to? Or do I have to rest before that?
I'll say that you just have inspiration. You just like level up to me is a gradual process, but it's like the level up itself that's like, okay, now everything works. So you've probably been thinking on the spell for the last few days, but now you finally understand it.
I have a new song.
And everybody just goes, "Oh no!" Yeah.
What did you learn?
A song of sleep and rest and beauty. It lasts 1 minute and a half, and when you hear it, you'll want to run faster and harder.
And each key basically matters. Yeah, because you're terrible. Yeah.
So you yell at people and they perform better.
Yes.
That
I
sounds
yell
like-
at people. So yeah. So my song is basically get up, get up, get up, get up. So yeah, I'm basically a scooter in the fantasy world.
Ooh, Arpo gets Font of Magic, and he gets his sorcerer points.
Yep.
He also gets another spell known and another spell slot, which is nice.
Mhm.
And of course, there's always your hit points, which... Ooh, wow, you rolled a 6.
Well, I just took
Oh, your
the
Constitution is just good.
average.
Yeah. What does that do for you, Font of Magic? Oh, yeah. It lets you make spell slots. So this is the point where our sorcerer starts to... Actually, the next level is when the sorcerer starts to get real cool, because then he gets meta magic.
Which is
At least it's not metagaming, ha ha ha.
Meta magic is essentially you get to change spell a bit, like you get more range, or it becomes a bit more powerful,
I see.
or you can cast it without certain
How do
components.
Okay, how do I add the spell to the
Well,
You click on an information icon, then you select spells, then you click on the category spells
which spell do
thing.
you want?
well,
And
you
then
did
Control
mention
F.
that massive healing rest.
Well, the healing thing that I mentioned is a class feature you just get. healing rest.
Oh, then where do I actually roll it?
Let me just... Oh man, I have to... I hate how it always...
sorry.
It's just... No, it's the Acrobat reader I'm using. That's annoying about this. Let's check this out. Okay, I'll just put this in Song of Rest. Class, Bard 2nd. There we go. I've added it. So, if you want to add a spell, you just go to the information icon at the top right of the Roll20 page, and you just type in the spell name, and you can just click and drag it on the spells page. So which one do you want to know?
Spells, and I drag it. Circle of Death! No. How do I select filter results?
I mean, you could always get Cure
Oh.
Wounds if you want to get some more healing. Or something like Featherfall,
Classes,
Heroes,
Bard, life filters. Oh, that's
sleep.
a lot of them.
Or if you want to be super funny, the funniest guy in the lot, you can always get Tasha's Hideous Laughter.
Well, that would be actually pretty nice. So, but okay, so what? So I want to find level 2 or level 1. I suppose level 1. Yeah, I think sleep is. Wait a second. So sleep, how does it look?
If I recall correctly, you roll some dice, and then you get to affect that much hit points in terms of sleep. It always goes
Yes,
lowest
that would be
HP first.
incredible. Yes, that would be incredibly beneficial.
Especially with larger groups. It eventually loses its potency, but at early levels it can be a lifesaver.
Yes.
Especially if you have to bring a whole room of 1d4 commoners to sleep.
Where do I add it? So I basically just drag and drop its
You just drag and
my
drop it,
character sheet.
just bloop, and it should automatically slot into the right place.
just a second. So I drag and drop it, drag and drop it, drag and drop it, drag and drop
There it is.
And do I also get a level 2 spell?
Nope, not yet. That's gonna. I think you get those at next level. You start getting level
Alright.
2s. Also known as.
And yes, and I'm sorry for being dumb out of character, but where do I roll the massive healing thing?
You just roll a 1d6. You can just.
Oh, okay, Song of Rest. I see it. Thank you.
I wonder if I can do this. That'd be real cool.
I actually see you.
Ah, cool!
opening an-
You can just click it. And it rolls it automatically. You click the little, you hover over it as a little speech bubble.
Okay, thank you.
Now you can put people to sleep. But then they won't hear your music. Okay.
I basically scream into their ears so much that they lose consciousness.
Has Arpo decided on his new spell yet?
Can it actually? I'm sorry. Yes, I'm sorry, Mr. GM, but can I do this like in character? Basically, instead of sleep, it's Vumi's knockout song.
Sure. As long as if it's mechanically the same, I don't care.
And I think I just broke or severely dislocated one of the arm rests on my sitting place.
No.
In excitement.
Okay, so Arpo, what were you saying? I mean, Belwar.
Haven't. I just looking at them currently. Charm person could be useful.
Well, if you really needed Fumi's already has it, if that helps you decide.
I was also looking at the expeditious retreat.
Fast as fuck, boy.
Just
Hey, that's mine.
run away. Expeditious retreat.
Let me just drag and drop it there for you.
Oh. Ooh. Okay.
Up to 10 minutes of running real fast.
You can now channel the power of
Oh, it's actually a bit different than I thought it
hedgehogs.
was. You can
Have
take
you ever
dashing
tried
as a
to catch
bonus
a
action.
lizard?
Jesus, that's really strong compared to the original version. However, it takes ruby dust worth 50 GP, so you're gonna have to scavenge some rubies for that one.
Oh wow.
Oh wait,
okay.
aren't you? No, that's other versions. I recall
Uh,
that.
no.
Actually, speaking of that,
No, it
sorry
doesn't.
for
It's just-
interrupting again, but
just
where
somatic.
can I find kobold traits?
I have a list
In,
if you want to see it.
Please do.
is it in the same document that the one you sent us?
No, but I have here a list of koboldish treats.
Could you please send it my way? Thank you.
Oh yeah, it insists on putting the stuff as images, but there you go.
That's alright.
Dash.
Which is... Oh wow, the spell itself is a bonus action. So as a bonus action, just as an aside to the rest of your turn, you just get to say, for the next whole combat, I just get to walk around. And it's a dash, which I think is double movement.
Extra movement for the grunt. Whenever I take dash, I can get extra movement for the grunt to increase equals speed after running more than you can move out to 60 feet on your turn. Cool.
Cheapers. Oh,
Yes,
no, it
yes,
means you
yeah.
still have to take a move action, but yeah. That's cool.
Hmm.
That's really good, though.
And it's a bonus action.
But, as you all enjoy your newfound power,
Yes.
the veteran is like, we're gonna move or what? Like, imagine
yes.
this process takes like a second in real time, but he's still like,
Yes.
I want to get this over with.
Ooh. Boom. Arpo starts glowing a little bit, and oh yeah, we have to go. Right.
You know what I should pick? I still have 1 free feat, so I think I'm gonna go with lucky on this because I keep getting one shot so many times.
You get a free feat.
On the first level now.
But you don't get feats in 5e like that.
I think so. Never mind then.
You get them at ability
Alright.
increases in place of one. So
Alright, as for
Fair
rubies,
enough.
I think... I'm sorry for interrupting, but I think being able to mimic sounds at will, does it include voices?
yes, like arbitrary sounds.
Yeah, like... Yes, I'd like to take that.
Go
as
ahead.
as a couple trait of choice.
Most kobolds just use it to like mimic, to perform certain whistling sounds, to like communicate over distances in the caves, but some just use it for fun.
Vermes uses that to mimic dying screams of various creatures. I'm sorry.
It's fine. I like it.
But yes, for him being a bard slash bait, that would be a very useful thing. So how do I put it in? Like sound mimic?
Yeah, put it in as you wish. They have to make a wisdom saving throw to figure out if it's something else or not, but you do. But it's like a really hard one, I'd imagine.
Alright, mimic sounds as well.
Anyway.
Alright, I think at this moment I should break the recording. Please give me a moment.
Alright.
That's the noise, you know.
Picked up the spell. Coolio.
And we're back.
Hilarious. Como picked shield. And which item did you pick?
It's just the one. I only get 1 extra slot, I think.
No,
Let
but
me
you
check
learned
the
2 new
page.
spells. So you picked shield, and which other spell did you pick to add?
Haven't picked yet, but I'm looking for the list right now.
You'll have 8 spells. You're on the curve, so.
On the curve because detect magic
Okay.
is for free, so it's 7.
So you would get 9, yes. Well, you can think about that.
Yes,
As you
I'm just
find
gonna
out.
flip for the book. Yep, as we're following the thing.
So, otherwise, unless you're going to do anything with the deer corpse, you're going to leave that behind, I imagine.
Oh.
We can pick it up on the way back, I suppose. Do we eat venison?
You can. Like, coming home with good meat is something else.
I'll hack off a leg.
To be fair, you'll probably be returning with a significantly lighter chest, so...
Let's hide the corpse somewhat so that that scavenger won't come and take it instead.
You kick it into the bushes.
That'll do.
The would like to imitate.
Oh,
Vermes would like to imitate some slashes of the local fauna and flora, like tiger plant.
You want to just take some
He,
plants?
he really doesn't know about this, but basically just imitates some slashes on the human's clothing and neck to make it look like he's being mauled by some kind of animal with incredibly sharp daggers for fingers.
Roll me a medicine check. Because you're basically
Ooh,
performing
what
surgical
goodness.
incisions here.
I don't know, something I'm actually proficient in.
Yes! You could fool just about, like, you'd have to be a pretty seasoned hunter to see that these are not, like, tiger slashes. Like, yes, there is the obvious, you know, dagger in the face, but for the rest it looks, you know, someone might have just put him out of his misery after a tiger attack.
by daggering.
By slashing a dagger in the face. That would be a pretty sadistic choice of Misericordia.
The only
but-
problem is that people would wonder why there are tigers here, but sure. It would scare people off is the point. It would look like legit claw marks.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I'd
2
say-
years later, everybody's scared to go into the forest because they think there's a tiger now.
Well, yeah.
So,
Tiger was here.
yes. Yeah, okay, and at the same time, yeah, that's right. Okay, that's a Winnie the Pooh callback that I didn't expect. So Vumis shows this to Arpo. Basically, goes,
Look, I made it look like this thing has, like this human has been slashed by an animal.
and then he quietly adds,
By the way, what kind of an animal makes those slashes?
Yeah, well, it will be a big one, so you thinking there, Woomies?
Bears.
That will scare him.
Can you imitate one of these for me?
So basically, Vumis would like to ask Arpo to teach him the sound of that particular animal in order so that Vumis could imitate everybody.
Okay, prestidigitation and some kind of big animal roar.
Do you have any experience with bears? You can just say that your background says it, but
Well, I've been in the area before, so maybe I have seen a bear.
okay.
I was half expecting you to say, "Well, I was a bear before I became a kobold, so yes." I'm sorry.
Yeah. Yeah. Some kind of big roar. Brr.
It's convincing enough that you could probably convince someone with it.
So Vumis listens intently and says, "I remember now." Suddenly, in very low and serious voice. Yeah.
I
picked
assume
the other
Fumis has
spell.
put on his goggles again.
Yes. Because it's getting brighter.
Hmm.
It's still nice, crisp morning. You walk along.
Doo-doo.
Oh, that
It's
tongue.
like Christmas morning.
Don't forget that Vumis also found 6 silver pieces on the guy.
Where do I put these?
Well, you can spread them however you like amongst people, but there is like at the bottom there's a little section with SP, CP, EP.
Yeah, I'd like to divide these between everybody else.
Yay!
So I get 7, and everybody else adds 2 to these to theirs as well.
2?
Yeah, because 6 silver pieces divided by 3.
Yeah, he had 5. He added 2 to 5. That's why he said 7.
What about the guard?
The guard
You know
doesn't
it?
care.
Okay.
Your
They
kill,
don't
your
see
prize.
us dividing the money.
Roll me
Okay.
another perception check with disadvantage. You're trying to see something.
No, disadvantage. I'm sorry.
You just make another roll at normal, and you just pick the lowest.
Well, the result would be the same anyway.
Vomis notices a green figure in the distance making some hand gestures and then vanishing off. That being said, none of you have ever seen orcs before, so you wouldn't really know what it is.
I relay this information to the winged kobold.
The winged kobold saw him. Like, you see him actually gesture back, which is why we're able to see him in the first place.
Are these yours? There's a green figure. It made woo 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 and then it gone. Was it yours?
We'll see him in a bit. We'll see him in a bit.
Oh, what's going on?
Vumis goes,
Vanguard.
Shh. We'll
Scouts.
see him in a bit.
Okay.
He was actually, like, he was a good distance away. Like, it's a surprise you could see that far between the trees.
Okay. Arbo is trying to, like, hide himself in the bushes. Like, I'll follow the group, but,
At a distance.
yeah, scouting ahead in hiding.
You eventually see a group of several tall, strong-looking orcs. These people tower over each and every one of you. Some of them might actually be 3 times as high and tall. I mean, like, these are imposing figures, even to regular people.
3 kobolds high.
Yeah, they're like 8 to 9 feet, some of them. There's like 5 of them, and there's the scout. They have with them
Wumi stares at them with his mouth wide open. He's basically.
They have with them
Don't.
a moderate chest
Ooh.
with a small lock on it. You don't see the key on the chest or anything, so they probably have it on them. But for Arpo specifically, you see the rest of the group approach the orcs.
Alright.
What does the rest
Well-
do that is with the group?
I'm gonna stick with the guard. I'm gonna try to pull back anyone who tries to do something silly.
So, does anyone here speak
Because This
Orcish?
is important.
As a bard, I suppose Vumis should be able to have at least something of this. And I think I did put in Orcish as my languages. No, I didn't.
Nah.
You can check it out at the bottom left of the
Actually,
page.
you don't
No,
get a bonus
yeah,
language,
no,
so you
yeah,
only
no,
know
I didn't.
Draconic.
Yes.
I have common and uncommon.
Yeah.
Can
you're-
I try to imitate Orcish?
You can try to imitate Orcish, but you can't speak it. It's like trying to
Yeah.
sound French when you don't know a language.
It is gonna be the bear, the rogue again. You'll need a butler.
In fact, Vumis doesn't even speak common, so he didn't hear what the humans and all were saying. But they start talking for a bit. You can sort of sense that they're not having that. This is not like a negotiation or anything. Like they're just chatting up on stuff. You can sense.
Vumi is
from-
just yes. Would it be polite for a kobold to bow to an orc?
Yeah, but you'd also be seen as kind of a weak-willed person to do that because this is not submission. This is just a business transaction, so it'd be kind of weird.
So Vumis just puts his little armsies on these 3 daggers, like one arm on one dagger and other arm on 2, and tries to look proud. I'm a god.
You notice that somewhere partway through the conversation, like the orc guy starts to look around very shiftily.
Oh.
Uh-oh.
Roll me perception, no disadvantage.
No disadvantage. All right.
Ooh.
You all hear a distinct rustling in the distance of like several figures, and as it comes closer, Ichki is able to make out the clattering of armor.
Oh no.
Ah, crap.
Vumis disappears.
What?
Arpo's in the bushes.
Arbo is actually closer to them, so roll me a stealth check. You may remain hidden for now.
They're
Can
gonna
I-
trip over you.
They might.
Can I see them?
So
can-
can I attempt to make Vumis disappear from sight?
You can roll stealth to try and quickly hide. Woo! No one has any clue where Vumis went. Like even the guard who you were and the orcs you were standing next to just lost track of you when they looked around quickly.
Yeah, a guard passes by me, and when it's like in the movies when a guard walks in front of me in the foreground, and then I'm gone.
So, the orcs seemed on edge before. Now they're like ready to go. As you hear a war cry coming from the forests, and Arpo specifically sees a whole bunch of humans, some of whom look like trained adventurers, suddenly rushing in.
Oh, how many?
There's a lot of them.
Several.
Like it's
Uh,
they slightly outnumber you with the 6 orcs and your group. The carrier's not included because they don't really fight.
okay, I'm going to surprise the hell out of them by breathing some fire.
Are you? So, you decide that it is a brilliant idea to A, jump out of some bushes directly into a group of at least 10 people, breathing fire into a forest.
Yep.
People will write about this, although it remains to be seen how they will write about it.
These are all good points.
The general point is that there is now a large section of woodlands on fire, because a 30-feet cone is not nothing.
And it's multicolored fire.
And some of them just quickly start to pat out the flames. The one of them is wearing heavy armor and turns his attention to you.
Eat.
And he says that you knew! They knew!
I knew? What did I know?
You knew things. Everyone has to roll initiative once more.
Yay!
Jesus, Fogies. How do you do it?
I'm a sneaky little creature.
Fomies gets the first go.
Okay, so a human has more health points than an orc.
Some of them
And they
are, as a quick note, like this is 7 damage. You hit a bunch of them, and some of them look like pretty worn out from just that one blast.
Aha.
Alright, and there's also kobolds intermixed in. So if I cast sleep, there's a very high chance of friendly fire.
Not really, because it goes to the lowest HP value first, and you can center it pretty well. Like, they're not close enough to Arpo that this would affect him directly if you aim it right.
No, I mean, I don't want, it's not just about Arpo, I don't want to affect our kobolds.
No,
especially the
they're not that
kobold.
close yet. Sleep is not that big
Oh,
of an area.
right, so yes, I'm slamming those adventures with some sleep. So Vumi's basically prepares a sphere of light and then goes.
Sleep time! It's on fire! This is now the best time!
So a magical effect whizzes through the air, explodes near the humans, and some of them fall over on the ground. Like 3 of them are just unconscious. One of them looks drowsy for a minute and then falls over too.
Does this expose me?
It does. Because you are casting a very loud
great.
magical effect.
Very loud sleep.
La 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 la! Go to bed!
They're not dead. They're just sleeping.
They're on fire though. Like they're in burning woodlands. They're gonna die from the fire in a second.
I mean, that's the plan.
Arpo, please, try not to die.
Will it proc attacks of opportunity if he tries to run away?
He's not close enough for that to matter. Also, the humans have not had time to go yet, so they don't have their bonus actions ready, or reactions. They're still kind of flinching from the flames.
Oh.
Yes.
Okay. I'll cast Expeditious Retreat and run away.
Just you?
Zoom! You cast Expeditious Retreat and run your ass right back.
Yep, at least 120 feet away from them.
Vroom.
And since that is a bonus action, can I still cast another spell?
If you don't take the dash. Oh yeah, because you've already spent. You have 1 bonus action, so you can't dash on the same turn, but you can cast a spell. No, you can only cast a cantrip. I think the rule is. It's a really weird rule, but that's how it works.
Okay, so if I cast a spell and dash away, what can I do then?
You can cast a spell, and then you can take a move action. You can cast a cantrip that is an action or a bonus action, but you can also just run all the way back.
Okay, I'll just run away this turn.
You get out of there, getting away from the flames that are starting to wave up.
Yep, getting away from the
Ichki,
angry humans.
things are unraveling rather quickly. Do something.
Well, this is getting out of hand real fast. Well, at the very least, we can handle the attackers before the orcs have to step in. Because wink, wink, nudge, nudge, first impressions.
I mean, we will also... Is there a way to extinguish the flames?
Yes, I have the means, but I'll have to, like, rest for a bit.
These are big flames, though.
I can take a short rest, recover spells, and cast the fog cloud to cover
Short
the
rest
area
is an
in
hour. By
water,
then, the
basically.
flames will be far beyond your control.
In which case, I can use that one spell for that. So I'll be saving it for after this is over. So we don't have to deal with, like... Yeah. Well, meanwhile, let's try to do some damage control, I suppose, and fire at the closest person that's not awake with the cantrip.
Which would be the big, scary, paladin-looking man. You shoot a beam of cold at him, and it just bounces off his shining armor
Oh.
towards a nearby tree, causing the tree to freeze over. Just a little bit, because it's a little baby spell. The orcs and the humans move pretty close to each other, and they just... And the veteran, who's beside you, joins in with the orcs, and they orders you to stay behind and watch the money. Because they might go after the money, too. And they just start charging in the woods, and they strike at each other. Oh, damn. Okay. So as you watch this unfold, you can see that despite being overwhelmed, the humans are, like, gaining some advantage in this conflict. As there's smoke starting to pile up. As Vomis, where exactly did you hide?
I hid behind the guy. I hid behind the guys that are watching the gold. No one is going to look for a kobold in the middle of many kobolds.
That might be the case, but as this fight unravels in front of you, Vomis happens to notice that someone is starting to move up towards the chest that the orcs were carrying, and he has like two little assistants with him.
Can I dagger the guy and vicious mockery the assistant?
Your dagger disadvantage, the attack roll at least.
Okay, I'll just dagger the guy.
The guy, by the way, it looks like a well-seasoned adventurer.
Well-seasoned.
Perfect
What's
for
the
a stew.
seasoning? Yes.
Okay. Wait a second. There are many ways. I don't think a kobold may intimidate. I can certainly try.
You can always try.
All right. So first of all, I'd like to warn the carrier kobolds. Basically, look, there's an adventurer, and then I whip out my other dagger and the bloody dagger, and look at the guy menacingly. Basically, then I say in very deep voice, fresh meat.
You can throw both daggers in the same turn if you wish.
No, I would like to intimidate the guy first.
Okay. I would say that's a bonus action because it's just...
Intimidation.
Okay. Well, the big scary guy, like the seasoned adventurer, just kind of shrugs it off. One of his assistants just look at that guy. Look at him. Look at that eyes. He
You're
starts
barely
shaking.
up
He
to
starts
his
shaking
knee.
the big guy. He's just like, look at him. His other assistant is too focused on the chest to notice. And the big guy, the rogue's like, stop, you're shaking me. Arpo, you're standing in the small clearing where the deal took place. Smoke is starting to fill the air, and things could be going worse.
So, how many of the humans are up?
There were 10 at first. 3 of them went down instantly, 1 went down too. So there's 6 of them left, but the one of them is a big, scary paladin guy, and you can tell that one of them is probably some sort of wizard who has been casting spells at the orcs. And there are, of course, the 3 who are looking over the orcs' payment.
Can you imagine if it wasn't the deal with us, but with these dudes, and we just killed them randomly?
Okay.
That'd be weird.
I'll blast at the wizard with Chaos Bolt.
It whiffs and hits again a nearby tree. They are far away, and it's kind of hard to hit them from this distance.
Oh, let's see. 5. What damage type is that? Damage type. It's lightning.
A tree falls over. And hits one of
Does it hit any of the guys that are asleep?
yes. Like 3 sleeping people are now crushed under a tree.
Whoop. Yep, that went as planned.
Itchki, go!
Yes. Well, I mean, everything is already on fire, so why not? If cold didn't work, maybe this will. Same target.
Who are you? Oh, you make the big guy, right? Or who are you aiming at? Okay.
Yes.
You hit. So as
Same
he's
dude that I
fighting
attacked
the
before.
biggest, scariest of the orcs, and seems to be doing rather well, he takes it on the chest, and mostly seems to shrug it off. But it does distract him long enough that the other large orc can sort of push through. Oh heck. Okay. The orcs seem to be getting the upper hand right now. The big paladin guy inspires everyone with his mighty courage, and strikes the big guy who limbers back. The people that are taking care of the orc chest decide to just take it, lift it up, and take it away. They are now running away with your money.
Wait a second. Where are all the kobolds that are protecting it?
Well, the carriers aren't exactly fighters, and the veteran is fighting the humans, and told you to watch the money.
Crab cakes.
It's Vumi's time to upset them.
Go, Vumis.
I'd like to throw 2 daggers at the people's feet to make them stumble and crush the big guy under the chest.
Go for it.
That's 1.
Wow.
That's a hit,
That's 2.
and that's also a hit. Okay. So, one of the acolytes... Oh, good. One of the acolytes stumbles. The big guy manages to hold himself because he's pretty tough. The chest falls on top of the acolyte and crushes him. The other acolyte who was shaking the rogue was like, "What's going on?" It seems confused for a moment, and then notices you. And then says that you should probably take care of him.
Nobody what?
The big guys now turn towards you. As they have dropped the chest and figure, you know what, we can take care of a bunch of baby kobolds.
Okay, so so the guys who were stealing the chest.
They're a good distance away. They're like a move action in some way.
I mean,
I'll,
you can dash towards them.
Yeah, I'll dash towards them and use my sorcery points to cast another Chaos Bolt.
Okay, you can roll that attack roll with advantage because you're moving so fast that this guy's like, "Where's it coming from?"
Okay. Chaos Bolt.
Oh, shit.
And it's... Chaos Bolt. Okay. That's 7 psychic damage.
How much damage does it
You're
do?
going to drive him mad.
Psychic damage at the...
2d8 plus 1d6.
Yeah, but you have to choose one of the d6/8s, which then becomes the damage type instead of the damage.
Yeah, that's the... I've been picking the first one.
So 9. Okay.
Wait, 9?
So yeah, because you spent the 7 to be psychic damage. Otherwise, the spell has way too much damage potential compared to any of those.
Oh, you subtracted from... Okay.
What? Make
I
one
imagine that's
on a
how it
hit.
would work.
Choose one of the number rolled on the die determines. Doesn't indicate that.
All right, fine then.
Yeah, it doesn't need to be just...
That seems really powerful for a level 1 spell, though. That exceeds everything else. It, like, they must think that, oh wow, it has range, for one, but the thing that gets me is that this is so much more powerful than anything else level 1. And just, the only thing that compensates is that you don't know what damage type you're dealing. Also, holy shit, Como.
Kamado,
whoa,
you're
whoa.
breathing very hard into the mic.
Are you okay?
It wasn't the breathing.
Oh, maybe it's rotting up against something.
Well, I have a fan open. Maybe it was blowing into it.
Ah,
Perhaps.
yeah.
It's
Explains
that
it.
time
you
of
were
year
like-
for people to start.
Fuck.
I'm sorry.
That was great.
Yep.
That's not me.
Mm.
Coma, that's what people say when they're farting. Wasn't me.
I'm sorry.
Okay.
So, yes.
So the roguish looking guy is just blasted with psychic energy.
Ah.
And
So
he
he suddenly goes, ponies, and falls over.
stumbles and trips over the heavy chest.
I can't find that spell, by the way.
No.
Oh, what spell?
Chaos Bolt.
Gaze boat.
Oh, it's in what name?
Let me.
That's on the wiki, though.
Senator's Guide to Everything.
Yeah, the spell looks as OP as it looks.
No, apparently it's because it's a single target thing or something.
Mm,
I don't get it,
unless
but
you roll
whatever.
the same. Unless you roll the same in both d8s, then it leads to the next target within 30 feet.
Yeah, but in that is you have to make a new attack roll. So.
Make
Anyway.
a new damage roll, which could cause it to leap again. Wow.
Mm.
You seem to be taking care of these two people quite well. Ichki, your time to shine. One of the acolytes is now dead, and the humans fighting in the forest seem to be losing ground.
Well, I might as well throw all kinds of spells around, considering I have a bunch of cantrips. And I've been throwing ice and fire. So, how about that?
Who are you aiming at?
Are they still carrying the chest away?
They are beyond your reach. You have to move up to them to hit them, and they're not
You
carrying
might
the
want to
chest is on the
corrode
ground.
the guy's armor.
Well, Wumi seems to be taking care of them, so I would attempt to target the same dude that I've been distracting so far with ice and fire, and now with acid.
You move into the forest and you shoot a giant spray of acid, and you hit him. He does not make a saving throw. He seems to be in quite the pickle right now. He holds up a shield and he does some sort of chanting. And you notice that it's starting to rain.
Oh, thanks for fixing the fire, I guess.
To be fair, there's like a village nearby, so if this guy is like a paladin, he'd probably not want the place to burn
Well,
down.
I was going to extinguish it anyway, so thanks for the help.
He doesn't know that you're the local Smokey the Bear.
I'm not... Well, they heard the bear earlier, right?
Yeah. Okay, well, let's roll some dice and see how this resolves. Oh heck, it's still pretty much a stalemate, but you notice that like some of the humans, like they lost their ground, and it's now just this big guy. The wizard is on the ground, coughing up smoke. They
Oh
can
look, he breathed in all the smoke.
they can probably clean up the rest, unless this big armored guy turns out to be a pickle. Vumis, go for it.
So the big guy who's trying to take away the chest is dead and gone for all intents and purposes.
There were three of them. One of them is dead. The other one is standing, and the final one is also standing. Like the big guy, the rogue, is standing, and his little friend is also standing. Oh wait, they also get a turn. I forgot. Let me see. What are they
Yes.
gonna? Okay. He's gonna do some cure wounds. Wow, he rolled terrible. That's great. Freaking great. The big guy himself takes out a crossbow and aims at the guy nearest to him, which seems to be Arbo. And he fires not once but twice.
Ooh,
With a little clip. It's a really nice little crossbow.
Well, that's an appropriate piece of music.
Arbo, you take an unfortunate. What's it? Oh, that's 10. You take 10 damage as just two bolts wedge themselves into your shoulders.
Ah,
And he shouts, "Stand back!" This ain't even yours.
Good. Good thing you have. Good thing you have 14 health points total.
You can actually see that he's kind of surprised that you're actually still standing, because he's used to kobolds falling over after that.
How?
How damaged is the big guy?
He just got a little baby cure wounds, which, by the way, rolled 2 ones. So he's damaged enough that like a good strong hit would take him out.
Anyone here have
well,
strong hits?
So yeah, I am. So yeah, Vumis would like to dagger him in the ear. Well, not in the ear, but basically in the hand that holds the crossbow. Basically, he basically goes, "Do not hurt my friends."
Go! Nope. He basically the dagger flinches off the armor and lands on the ground nearby.
Ah, I should have gone for more psychic damage.
Arpo, your shoulders are hurting like hell.
Uh,
Well, that's an
Like
understatement.
these are nasty bolts.
okay, so
Barbed.
so this was one of the guys who was stealing the chest.
Yes, the roguish looking
Yes.
guy.
How injured is he looking?
As I said, a good strong blow will probably knock him out.
Yeah,
Oh no! Everything blew up! Baby, no! Sorry, people. But, Discord has decided that, everything blows up. I'll see if I can... No, I can't even leave the call. Okay, I can't even leave the call. So, hoping that Discord fixes itself. Hoping that Discord fixes itself. This is unexpected. I'll go check my Twitter. Maybe Discord's like, hey, we're having some problems. We're fixing it. Don't worry about it. Let's go take a look. Discord, because it seems to be. No, I don't want to post Discord. I want to check out Discord. Thank you. No. Okay. I don't want to see the royal wedding. I don't fucking care. Everyone's like, oh, the royal wedding. Oh my goodness. Blue Bloods are getting married. How dare they? They're just like us. They get married. I wonder if people start hearing me and they're just hearing this this dipshit talk about the royal wedding. Oh, that'd be great. That'd be great. Like, I'm just sitting in a one-way call. And everybody's going on about the royal wedding. I saw a great one. There's this thing called Botnik, which is a predictive text robot. And I wrote, it's just great. It's just great. It's hilarious. Look, I should probably just link it. I have the Discord patches up. This is a sad, sad way for this to go, by the way. Oh yeah, it's called Botnik Studios. That is Botnik, and then Studios. And they recently did one on the rolling. So, because we're having a bit of a time, let me just read a headline for you that they automatically generate using predictive text. Plenty of honor at the kingdom. For the past 105 million years, life has continued to develop into ever more complex forms. All for the firestorm of Royal Majesty. That would mean the 19th of May. Could you imagine that? Life has evolved, so the royal wedding may happen. Someone just said it as probably like, oh no, Discord exploded. Yeah, Como just said hello. Try restarting. I can try that now that he mentions it. Let me just kick Discord in the butt. The butt kicking did not help. Okay, I could always just restart Discord the hard way. The hard way involves shutting down Discord using the task manager and shutting it down in every possible conceivable fashion. Okay, Discord is now super shut down. As I read headlines of the royal wedding. Oh, I'm going to the royal wedding. Oh. Heck. Heck. Everything exploded.
Okay, so yeah, as I warned as I warned about an hour ago, there's been a wave of disconnections across the whole of Discord.
I had to hard reset it. So yeah.
So exactly an hour ago, I basically noticed how some servers are going online and offline. So
Get your
I think it
task
might be a
managers
good
ready,
idea.
kid.
Oh. I think it might be a good idea to maybe hold on the session right now or wrap it up a little bit quicker.
Okay. Well, it's not going to be too much
Alright,
longer anyway.
Alright, in the meantime, I'm going to restart the audio. Just wait for a second.
Oh, yeah, it was my turn, and I was going to use the.
Okay, I forgot that I looped the sound. Sorry. Yes, we're back.
So yeah, I was thinking about using my Oaken Shard thing to freeze time around the chest.
Oh, heck. Okay.
Wait a second. Is this going to include Avumis as well?
It's a 10-foot radius.
You threw your daggers. No, you're not in range.
Well, too bad.
Okay.
So, Apo, unless you're...
So, Harpo throws the shard, and there's just this grayish bubble around the chest area, and everything inside is frozen utterly and completely.
3 rounds.
For around 20 seconds, nothing inside the bubble can move. To them, nothing is...
My daggers!
To them, time skips forward. To you, they're frozen like popsicles.
Ha! That's what you get for shooting my shoulders. Ow.
I was gonna make you roll, but I figured, you know what, why not? Why should I? You're just aiming at the ground. You can throw at the ground. It does hurt like hell to throw there.
Ground!
I
These
don't need no charity.
Crossbow bolts ain't gotta be a part of my system.
Okay,
Yeah!
so you frozen time. It is now Ichki's turn.
Yes. Who is left alive?
So of the humans there, they're not looking good. Like I said, the wizard's choking on the ground, and the paladin's usually the last one standing. A couple of orcs don't look good, but you can't quite make it out because there's lots of smoke. The paladin, however, is glowing, so you can aim easily at him.
Yes. Also, it is raining.
Yep.
Rainbow smoke.
Well, if this takes care of the fire, then I don't need to hold off.
What are you doing?
In which case, well, this thing always hits, I think, because magic missile.
Magic missile!
Yes,
Magic
but
missile.
I do have something a little bit different, which
In fear.
Thunder wave!
no, that's how you kill me.
Oh.
Would be this.
Witchbolt!
Yep. And I keep zapping them every time it's my turn.
Make a ranged spell attack.
Yes. Would that be dexterity again?
Oh, there's a button. Okay. Well, just roll your
Roll
dagger
20?
because that's dexterity. So, same number.
Okay.
Roll your dagger.
No, it's blood. Okay. Actually, you should have clicked firebolt, but yeah, you hit enough to actually hit him. So he takes the damage, d12.
Let me roll it.
Aren't spell attacks cast roll with the
Intelligence proficiency, yeah, but it's close enough.
with you? casting ability.
That will be intelligence, yes, but it's only one less, and it's still enough.
Okay, so you are making a continuous electricity blasting thing. I think some Rayman 3 music is appropriate.
Zap.
Hehe. So this big guy,
Because
everyone's kind of choking. The big, for the most part, the humans are cleaned up. But the big paladin is, you know what? You've been shooting me with spells this time. He just shield bashes the orc aside, who's at least a foot taller than him, and just starts charging at Ichki.
Oh no.
And he shouts, "By the divine fury!" And he hits. He hits with tremendous divine might. And yes, a rainbow smoke cloud would be awesome.
Oh no.
You take a whopping 8 damage as he just uppercuts you.
Good thing we leveled up.
You fly back like this is like getting hit by a truck. This distracts him enough that an orc can rush up behind him. The big guy who's just bashed aside just comes after him and hits him on the head. And if this keeps up, it's just going to be a train. But he bashes, just clings off the armor. Vomis, what are you going to do? It's raining. Your friends just got shot in the shoulder. They're flying over there. All kinds of stuff going on. I mean, there's someone frozen in a time bubble. Who knew that would happen today?
Who is frozen in the time bubble specifically?
The dead acolyte, the other acolyte, and the rogue guy.
And
Still 2 turns until
Arpo
the
is
end,
and Arpo is free.
Arpo is not inside, but he does have, like, bolts sticking out of his shoulders.
Yeah. Arpo's
How
not really
mu-
good.
Okay, how many healing spell things do I have left? 2.
Let's see, what have you used? You used sleep. So you have 1 spell slot left, if I'm correct.
Okay. Hold on a second. There is an item called Spell Gem of Spells that I have in my items for some reason. I
Yeah.
think that's...
Those recover spell slots if you wish to use them.
Would it be a free action?
Yeah, they're pretty quick to use. You just grab them out and crush them.
I'd like to do that, and I'd like to do that, and spell recover each key.
What do you mean? You give him a spell slot?
What?
You say you spell recover each key.
Yes, I'd like to. So I'd like to recover a level 1 spell slot for myself, and use the healing word on each key.
Okay. Go.
And at the same time, I'd like to remain hidden if possible.
Well, to
you're
be fair,
yelling.
the paladin guy has
Nah.
like got someone in front of him that he just whacked away, and someone hitting him in the back of the head. So remaining hidden is not a hard task.
All right, so yes, I'd like to healing word each key.
Then
Healing
you need to
word.
Yep. Wow.
Yay!
Bada bing, bada boom. Despite getting launched through the air, you feel fine.
Each key, that was fun. Do it again.
Technically speaking, timeline-wise, this happens about when Ichki flies through the air. So, Arpo, go.
Okay, well, I expended all of my magical abilities. Bleeding heavily, they are... I'm going to start shooting crossbow bolts at the rogue in the time bubble.
Oh no. Go ahead.
So, what to do?
Yep.
You roll
But
with
he asked
advantage
for
because
damage.
he is a still target, and those crossbow bolts are like a few feet away from him when they dislodge.
Okay.
Well, you're gonna hit him. I will allow you to make another attack because you're just standing there and not even really having to aim.
Yep. Thunk.
There's just two crossbows very close together, like right in front of him.
Mm.
If he was moving, you could probably see the fear in his eyes. But he won't. He doesn't even know they're there yet.
Yeah, it's just thunk.
Hitchkey!
Thunk.
Yes.
The paladin and the orc are wrestling.
Well, am I within reach?
You're actually like slightly out of reach. You could just take a step and be there, if you wish.
Yes. Well, since he's distracted, I'm gonna find a gap in the armor and I'm just gonna stab him because
Advantage.
he's annoying enough.
Because you're
With
fighting,
advantage?
because you're striking a very distracted foe.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I've had enough of you.
I'm sorry.
Sick.
Well, that's sufficient.
Blood spills from the wound, and you notice that he's starting to move less and less until he eventually just sort of falls over. The humans and the orcs kind of look like take a quick like inventory as they look around and notice that most of the situation's been cleaned up. But then they notice the time bubble and they're like, "What the hell? Why is there bolts hanging in the air?"
Harpo unloading into the time bubble.
No, they just the few remaining orcs. There were like 6 of them to begin with. There's like 3 of them left. They sort of gather around. They hold their weapons and they're sort of tapping like, yeah, we're gonna see how this is gonna work out. So what happens is, when the thing just lifts up, when the bubble finally disappears, the orcs just descend down upon him. Bolts hit the guy right in the eyes, essentially. He falls over dead because, you know, his brain's been scrambled. And the acolyte's like, "I surrender!" And he gets whacked because he tried to make off with the money.
Ow.
Yeah, you're still hurting. However, the forest is no longer burning, so at the very least you don't have to worry about a forest fire.
Vumis would like to use the healing word on Arbor again.
Go ahead. That's your last use for the day.
So Vumis basically goes to Arbor and says, "Hey, those bolts are bad decoration." And then he yells on them and they fall off.
It's one way to kill a word.
Alright. Thank you, Woomies. I'll collect the crossbow bolts for my own use.
And I pluck all the daggers and loot the corpses of those who tried to steal the pretty things.
Okay.
Oh. I loot the rogue, since I killed that guy.
Have you seen any daggers on him?
They all, like, you get a couple of daggers out of this.
Yes.
I'll roll to see how many. There's like 3 daggers in total between all the people. Some of them had like gloves.
Now I have a bandolier of 6 daggers. That's a lot of daggers.
Can I fashion makeshift armor out of daggers that gets reduced AC as I use them up?
If you can find someone to
Just kidding.
enchant them to work in that way, you might. Otherwise...
No, Mayo fell off the chat with the music.
Wah, 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 wah. Wah, 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 wah.
Would that
Maybe.
be a compliment to an orc, by the way?
What?
Check the chat.
It'd be more a statement of fact, but yes.
Well, then I'm gonna be with the with our guard, I suppose, as we approach the orcs. I'm just like, fuck your toll. Wow.
It's kind of funky that when you get disconnected, you can still sort of, you know...
Hmm?
The funny thing is that when you're disconnected, you can still talk to people individually.
Yes,
Yeah.
because it's peer-to-peer, unlike the servers. Hello, Mayo. Welcome back.
Yay!
And the audio is back,
Uh,
I think.
He's so pointy. I like it, all the little stab wounds on them because he's so pointy.
Yeah, but basically, daggers in like little shards of armor, and in Quake you can pick up armor shards to gain a bit of armor.
So, the orcs could probably at this point extort you and just say, "This is all of our treasure," but they decide not to. They basically get like half fair pick. They leave the spell scrolls and doodads for you because they don't have any need of those. They have shamans who do their own thing. So,
What about the winged kobold? Is he safe?
he's alive. He actually just comes out of the woodlands, and you get the strange feeling he probably didn't participate that much.
I mean, who would?
So you load the rogue. You find on the rogue. The dagger is instantly snatched away by Fumi's. There's still his nice little crossbow. He has like some rope on him, some typical tools. But
I'll snatch the crossbow.
the crossbow that he had is a small little. It's a basic crossbow, but it has like a little cartridge at the bottom that you can load up with like 5 bolts to fire quickly. It's very well made too. This is the kind of stuff that makes you the Kobold Talk of Town.
Kobold Talk Town.
In Kobold.
Hello, this is Kobold Talk of Town, and I'm your show host. Today we have a wonderful kobold named Abo, who suddenly got himself a cartridge crossbow. Everybody hunt him.
So,
Kobold Talk of Town.
the orcs kind of keep everything together. They find the following things for you that they share with you. They find 2 scrolls of Cure Wounds, which the bard can helpfully use.
Yes!
Ain't that peach keen? But probably more interesting is that they give each of you like 20 gold coins that they found on the bodies.
Oh.
Wow, I've never held this much.
Yeah,
In my
like
hands.
they just kind of hand it to you like it's nothing to them, but to you it's like, ooh, new, exciting.
They'll probably get
I'm gonna
confiscated.
add it to my gold point. 20.
Yeah, that's.
Okay, and I replace my 1 dagger with 6 daggers.
Put in the 20 gold coins with my water coins. Just,
You also get a scroll of Magic Missile, Jump, Featherfall, and Color
Can I
Spray.
have that? Oh
Yes.
wait, I can basically already have that one.
You can learn them too, because you can absorb
Yeah.
scrolls into yourself.
Can I learn Featherfall?
You're technically a bard, so for you, studies would take a while, but you technically could, spending all the time to do it.
Yes! I'd like to take Featherfall. I'd like to sneak up on everybody from the air.
Featherfall just means that you don't take lethal falling damage.
But can it affect other creatures as well?
Yes, you can essentially. I
Mushrooms?
think you can affect like people in a small area or touch them.
Wonderful. That,
So you
me-
can't
that,
touch-
that means there's a high chance somebody will actually try and heal Woomies when he's on the brink of death.
I mean, you could also try to learn cure wounds, but sure.
How effective is Cure Wounds?
Let me just look that one up real fast, but I think it's a lot more powerful than Healing Word is. Bada bing, bada boom, baby. Cure Wounds is 1d8 plus your spellcasting modifier, but you have to touch the thing in question.
My spellcasting modifier is... Where do I see this?
It's on your spells page. It's 5. So that'd be 5 plus 1d8.
Oh. So that's a guaranteed 6.
Yeah.
Yeah, I might want to get that instead.
Oh,
Okay.
can I scavenge more crossbow bolts?
You find like a pouch of 20 on him.
Sweet.
Also, if I do learn Cure Wounds, can I forget Healing Word in place of Cure Wounds?
No, you don't have to forget it. You just have to learn it. Like, you're gonna need some help from your good old friend Ichki, who can actually read magic. But you can learn it, as like, you just know it now.
Alright.
It would
So
take
I
a
so basically there's a bunch of scrolls and I suddenly grasp and my hand suddenly extends forward and grasps onto it and I say Hichki,
This scroll, it sings to me.
You can have it, sure.
I mean, no one else
Can
use
you
Cure
read
Wounds.
it? Can you help it teach me?
Yes, I can read it for you. Pat,
And
pat.
Vumi's basically grasps each key in a tackle hug. Basically drops him on the
It's a
floor. Saying,
globe.
Thank you, a new song. Thank you.
Hmm.
So the orcs take the big iron chest with what they have left, and they had a small discussion, but you were kind of busy talking to each other and looting bodies to notice.
Yeah.
So you're left with the chest that they gave to you, and the 4 carrier kobolds you came with are like, ooh, the money.
But do
has
we
has anyone
actually
actually opened
trade?
it?
The
Yeah, we
orcs left the
exchanged
key on
books
top
for
of the chest
books.
when they left.
Well,
Okay, so hold on. So we get just one iron chest.
Yes.
and we gave
They're
them
gonna
one
return
iron.
the iron carrying chest eventually, because, you know, else the kobolds can't deliver.
Hello, Pizza Pony.
Can we open and look inside?
No
Should
one's
we
stopping you.
open and look inside?
I think it would be. I
I'm
think
gonna
it would be.
I'm gonna ask the guard if he's confident in the orcs.
I mean, this has happened before. This isn't like a new thing. The attack
Okay,
was a
fair
new
enough.
thing, but
The attack was a new thing. That's why I would like to check, but you know, it's not my job. So
okay.
In the meantime, Vumis is smearing all of his new daggers in blood. And he's and then he's trying to like pinch away a piece of armor from the fallen paladin because it's
Oh.
golden.
Our post taking a look in the chest.
Arpo takes a look inside and sees a collection of gems and golden ingots. Like, kobolds love jewelry, and now I know where their gold's coming from. However, let me see if Arpo can know something about this. Roll me a history check, actually.
Okay.
can I help him? Oh, he
Nice.
doesn't need to. He doesn't need help.
You recognize that these gold billions are stamped by, you've seen these before because you've stolen coins before.
Excuse me, what?
Someone talked, so I was distracted for a second. The point is, the billions are stamped with the mark of the local ruler, so these are stolen billions, most likely.
I'll have to do a thing. Give me a moment.
Go nuts. We're about to round off anyway.
That's why they tried to steal it back. Oops.
It's fair and square.
No idea.
Sorry, what?
It's fair and square.
They're just stealing
So-
it back.
Yeah, Vumis is trying to pry away a piece of the fallen paladin's armor.
So that's why that's why the hunters were told not to go here, because the raid was planned.
So, what are you trying to pry away? Like, what's your purpose here?
Just something small as a memento.
You take like a small elbow section, like one of the elbow slates.
And I put it on my head.
It actually fits quite nicely.
No. No, actually, I would like to put it on my fighting shoulder. No, not on my defending shoulder.
As a quick note, if you take a pauldron, you could put it on your head.
Well, the problem is it's gold, but I kind
It looks
of
golden.
tried to
It's
darken it.
It's treated. It's not really gold.
Okay.
Is
well,
there any
anyway, I
armor
tried
that would actually? Sorry.
Anyway, so I tried to rub some dirt on it to stop it shining so brightly.
You now have an elbow slate on your shoulder. You look
Okay.
cool.
And then I
Yeah,
put it on my head.
Can I
Uh,
take like a backpack or something from one of them?
So, what did I learn from the chest?
That the markings that they're like stamped. You know, like billions and ingots are stamped sometimes with markings. These are stamped with the markings of the local ruler. So these are stolen ingots.
Huh, alright.
It's not like we are under their jurisdiction.
And in the meantime, Vomis has decided to put a piece of shoulder armor on his head.
Alright. You go, Boomies.
Vumi's beams.
Kobo,
Yes.
there was a wizard on their team.
Yes.
A wizard did it to you.
And what do wizards have, Como?
Spellbooks.
And
Indeed,
no
indeed.
shame.
I have some shame.
Okay.
That's why
I
I
mean,
keep
their
bringing you
wizard.
back.
The guard, by the way, is watching like right over Arpo's shoulder. Like he's not letting those hands go anywhere.
Oh,
It's like, if you take even one thing, I'm gonna cut your hands off.
So basically, we are reenacting the 5e Kobold picture, right?
As a quick note, if you do want a backpack, like some of them have backpacks, but they're very big, so you have to strap them on pretty high for them to not hit the ground. They'll kind of rest
I
on
like
your
the
tail.
broken loot. I like the broken
Does anyone
loot
have like
that's
a
been filled with
pouch
gold.
that I can use as a backpack then?
I think I had one.
They have like money pouches that for you would be almost backpacks, more like knapsacks.
Nice.
Yes.
Na- Knapsack. I'm gonna take it.
You know, I have a belt pouch.
It's a
that's
sack
perfectly
that you put on a person's head, and then you tie the strings and they take a nap.
fine. Heck.
Heck.
Okay. So Como takes a bag as he walks past the corpses, some of which are half burned. The orcs have.
Vumis notices this and says, "Ooh, I want some backpack too." And then, and I'd like to grab one for Vumis as well.
There are enough belt pouches that you could easily like take one for yourself. Yes.
So how do I add a backpack? And how do I basically make it look like a backpack?
There, I've added it for you.
Oh, thank you.
There's a little plus button. You can click that.
Thank you.
Whee! So, what's step number 2? You can go home if you wish. The guards like actually looking over Arpo's shoulders. The carriers are they're trying to gather themselves a bit. Because that was scary.
It was.
Oh, I forgot to mention, you all get 200 experience points each. That was a very
Nice.
educational fight.
Mission complete.
We will learn stuff.
Which puts
Plus
you...
$200 and a
True.
property in San Andreas.
I know, that's a good song. Ooh. So now, what do you want to do?
Go home.
We'll have to escort. We'll have to escort them back to our place.
And so Combo leaves behind the wizard. And his spellbook.
Wait, what?
Aren't you? I thought you were going to pick up the spellbook.
Yes?
You never said you did.
What? Ah!
You have to specify what you're doing, boy. I'm not going to assume
Okay.
stuff for you.
Okay. Don't assume. Yes, I would like to pick up their spellbook. And
There's one
see if
tiny
they-
problem, which is that this spellbook is written in like a very different... Like, it would
In a
take a
lang-
while to translate these spells, but you could possibly...
In a language that I don't know. Is it
It's in a
common,
language you
or-
know. It's in common, but spellbooks are very personal to wizards. Like, you know how people, like, like someone writes out, like, how they do a mathematical sum, and it's like,
Yeah.
how the hell did you do this? This is what you're looking at, basically. It would take
That
some time
works.
to properly decipher them.
Yeah.
and
So
translate them.
okay. So imagine an artist's personal Tumblr with a lot of notes. It's this, but more scientific and more nerdy.
Yes, it will be 7 plus 9. You carry 1 from the 9 to 7, and it becomes 8 plus 8, and then it becomes 16.
Oh my
It's
god,
just like-
that one is great!
Which one?
The one you're talking about. That's a Tumblr post where people are like, about how you do
Yes.
the sums.
Yes. So I suppose that this book deals with the spells in much the same manner.
Mhm.
They do it properly, but they do it in a weird manner.
It's a pretty nice spellbook, too.
I actually have a pretty similar example, like a recipe book in which everything is step by step. So like you make a salad. So first you make a layer of diced carrots, then you make a layer of so point 1. Put a layer of diced carrots in a bowl. 2. Put a layer of diced onions in a bowl. 3. Put a layer of diced shiitake mushrooms in a bowl. 4. Make sure you smear some mayonnaise between the layers, kind of like this.
Eater of dust. Another one bites the dust.
Can I get one of these? Because I have a lot of dust.
We do not use eldritch beasts of yore as vacuum cleaners.
It would probably be what mages or wizards do.
Yes, and also it destroys magic, so...
Could
Okay.
be magical dust. Hehe.
No!
So, what's happening? Or what are you doing? Oh, look at that little bold! His little armor.
With a cornucopia.
Yes.
Crest.
I love how small his head is in the helmet.
I mean, otherwise you'd be eaten by that little top piece.
Oh god. Stop posting these cuties.
So yeah, so basically, after we pick the load clean and bid the orcs adieu, we go back.
as you should. There's not much happens on the way
yes,
back, except the rain that's slowly starting to fade away.
Yes, and at the same time, Vumis tries to obscure their retreat. Like he tries to make some marks, like there's been a fight with beasts.
There was a giant
he scratches
fire.
off some bark of the trees.
There
So he
was a
tried to make
fire
it
and a
look
dozen
like-
corpses.
Yeah.
But yeah, basically there was a fearsome beasts. Some adventurers were trying to fight it off using fire. They failed.
On your way back, you pass by the deer corpse.
Ooh.
Do we pick it and bring it with us?
Yep.
Yes, Vumis actually carefully cuts away pieces of meat, leaving the head because he doesn't like the head, and he makes it like scratches around on the remaining pieces of the corpse and around the head, like there was some animal with huge claws, and then he covers the corpse with the dust, like the animal tried to like dig the corpse under the earth, basically like a cat scratching away the food he doesn't like.
Okay.
Does the deer have antlers?
Yes,
I'll take the head.
you have now a head with antlers.
Yep. This will look real nice at the home cave.
Vumis is going to say, "Are you going to put it on your head? Put it on your head."
It's not very hygienic.
Not yet. I'll have some.
And that's how the legend of the head of Vecna came to be.
I'll
You can
have
make a
some.
helmet out of it.
Yeah. I first have to have some beetles eat away the fleshy bits.
So as you
Nice
return home,
antler skull.
the day's getting on, but you probably feel tired and a little bit sore still,
Well, yeah.
especially the guy who got hit in the shoulders or in punted.
Especially the good. Yes.
But as you arrive there's you can tell by the guards that you are walking past that they're like, wait a second, why are you here? And as you approach
Excuse me?
Ozilp, like the dragon rot just throws his hands up in the air and walks on.
What?
What?
What exactly
What?
is going on?
That's what I want to ask. What did go on? Ozilp gives you the old frown. Like her.
There was an attack, and there was this paladin who tried to rush us, and then there was something else, and then there were people who tried to steal the chest, but I knifed them in the feet, so they fell, and then Abo shot them, and they died.
Yeah. That.
What he said.
The time bubble was me. I had the thing. I stopped the chest being stolen.
Ichiki, I think it's your. I think you have to be the voice of reason who actually describes everything that happened in a
You have pretty much
logical
recited everything,
manner.
So I basically do this.
Yes. What is it?
You can see the thing in the chat.
Yeah,
I just
know.
point to them and
That's-
say like, yes, that I confirm the recount of the information. There was an
the dragon
attack.
rod also
and we've
nods.
dealt with it.
Like to also. And he holds out his hand, and he says, "Well, produce to me some blood."
Vumis has been smearing everything with blood.
Yes.
Oh yeah.
I send you out to just
dagger
do a
is-
delivery, and you come back with blood and a deer.
and blood. I
And,
also-
Alive.
and a piece of the paladin's armor. I have it as a hat.
Yeah,
It's
well,
not very
you know,
courteous of you to come back alive. But...
Yeah, the chest.
So he takes the dagger from Vumis. He doesn't even care if Vumis tries to hold on to it. Just snatch. And gives the
that's
blood
a
a lick.
lewd word.
Well. 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 Not so soft skill after all, are you?
I told you.
And Vumis kind of pokes in one of the little scales on his arm, and that's basically the sturdiest one, and it makes a little tuck.
Little tuck. So,
And
Oh,
it basically goes
okay.
here.
Ozzy
Yeah,
walks
She wasn't
past you.
happy that we were actually alive.
So Ozzy walks past you, and he faces the crowd, so to speak, like the people in the sleeping quarters. And he shouts out, "These are not soft skills!"
Yay!
Yay.
This is a great social upgrade.
And Vumis kind of hops nearby and waves. Hi.
So Chieftain Meza comes over. Mezatin Coppertoe, to be specific, who is also purple. Not related to Ozzy in any way. Because they heard this guy just shout. It's like, what is this? Why are you shouting? Is there a reason for you to be shouting?
Yes.
What's with these? I thought you
Vumis
said.
shuts up.
I thought you sent these people to go away.
We came back.
And Ozil just kind of stands there, and he elaborates what's happened. The chieftain nods slowly. Her eyes closed. She, as a quick record, has a torchbearer with her because Mezatin does not have dark vision, only has low light vision, so needs like a light source around to see the place very well. Doesn't undo that she's been a good chieftain, and most people appreciate her efforts. She nods slowly, and she notices the fact that you still look sore, and she's impressed. And she nods slowly. It is rare for soft scales to prove themselves.
Ooh.
Well, I would imagine we are aware of that.
We did
Come
good.
back with quite the bounty. Fresh meat for a feast.
Yeah, Vumis carefully tries to hand over the meat he's been carrying on him after the deer to somebody else.
A local.
Did we actually like bring an entire carcass, or did we
Not an entire carcass. Vumis cut off the edible meat, and Arpo took the head with antlers.
Fair enough.
Unfortunately, since Fomis doesn't know anything about deer, he just took like most of the meat with him that wasn't attached to skin or bone.
Yes.
So it's still a lot of meat. But at this point, you all gain some tribe prestige. 2 points to be specific, for bringing back a bountiful harvest and for actually proving yourselves.
Where do we put it?
Well, in Fumi's case, you actually now have prestige to begin with. In that you had 0, you are no longer hated. People actually tolerate your presence now. I think in Komo's case, it goes up to 3.
Heck.
And Arpo goes up to...
Hold on a second. Why did I have -2 to begin with?
Because you were super annoying.
Oh, of course.
Don't forget your character. You said your character was super annoying to people, so.
Yes.
Wait, how much experience did we get during the last one? 200?
Yes, 200 each.
200, yes.
So it's up to
So now-
510, yeah.
Yes, 510.
You're a pretty sturdy folk now. Well,
Yeah.
it is good
With
to
great
know.
power comes great responsibility, however.
Indeed, it does. These caves are wide and vast, and we can use all the help we can get from those who aren't soft to make sure that they stay safe. As you have noticed, the humans are becoming more aggressive. Though we believe it was the orcs they were after,
Yeah,
this
you don't
shows their
say.
forward nature. What did they say
Vumi's
again?
quite...
They've sent a paladin, acolytes, and a bunch of foot soldiers.
And a wizard. There
No
was a
minor
wizard.
matter. Wizards and
He-
paladins
Vil-
are expensive.
The guy who tried to steal had assistance.
Hmm.
They tried to
Yeah,
steal
there's-
it.
Somewhat experienced rogue as well.
Well, I mean, they didn't necessarily have assistance. They probably know that the deals between orcs and kobolds happen in this place at that time. And the orcs stole the gold, so probably they just knew where to go.
The fact that this all went so swimmingly, and despite the betrayal, you have stuck with us. Perhaps we can trust you with something. In due time. For today's celebrations, that you have returned and proven yourself.
That's fair enough, but what exactly does the thing mean?
What?
Despite
Betrayal?
Despite the betrayal.
betrayal, yeah.
Well,
Who betrayed who?
the matter of fact is that the dragon rot left you, and you were kind of left there to figure yourselves out.
Oh.
Oh.
Like, for all intents and purposes, they were kind of banking on you not coming back.
Well,
The dragon rot's like, she may have assumed that Ozzy would have told you by now that the dragon rot was given specific instructions to kind of leave you.
Oh. Oh, that's...
well,
Ozil,
yeah,
at
because
this
they
point, like,
just
looks like, ugh. Actually, he doesn't, because he's like, I don't care.
So,
Well, I mean,
Vumi's,
they're-
yes, at this, when he mentions, when the tribe chieftain mentions that they need all the people they can trust to the tribe, Vumi's kind of blurts out,
Of course, the tribe above all. I
Yes,
heard
yes.
it. I live by it.
That's why you're still here. After all.
Vumi's beams even more. Can I roll if Vumi's beaming actually produces some light?
Go ahead. Roll me
Okay,
Arcana
what do
check.
I roll for this?
Arcana.
Sure, just a second.
You
No,
actually make the room slightly darker.
Oh.
Which is not, like, bothering anyone but the lady who does not have dark vision. Who happens to be the chieftain.
Lily suddenly sucks in the light. Yeah.
She screams and just goes, what are you doing?
How are you doing
just
that?
Sorry.
I do that sometimes.
Well, at that point, she, the rest of the night is, the rest of the day actually, it's not even night. What is night even underground? It's just mostly celebrations. Because the hall was brought in, and they were really like planning for this to go wrong every which way. Including that you would come back but the money would be gone or something. So, at the end of the day...
Heck.
Wait, was it... No, it was 300 experience, which is why I read 5. No, I don't even know anymore. Point is,
Is it-
y'all get a big old feast. You're all full, you're happy. There was lots of jubilation. Your rival, of course, is still like, ugh.
This is
What-
probably a normal thing.
Well, sometimes just some kobolds like go outside and they get something fancy and they have a little party, but this is like a chieftain sanctioned party.
Yeah, I meant the whole thing about sending to the death.
Yeah, that's I've mentioned that before. That is kind of a thing that they do. Is if you're a kobold and you're like not sturdy enough stuff, like you're not contributing enough or you're kind of weak. To be fair, there's a good reason why it's you guys. One of you is a rogue who is causing trouble by being a rogue and stealing from the town. The other is a wizard who is not a sorcerer. Kind of racist, but that's how they work. And finally, there's the loud, annoying bard who is loud and annoying.
I mean, I was taught to be a bait.
Doesn't
else
mean they
did
have to
you
tolerate you
expect?
this long.
Well, of course, yes, a bait has to be gotten rid of in order not to bait people into where people don't need to be baited into. I'm sorry, yeah.
The point is,
And
Yeah,
yeah, and our bow is also a soulless abomination, but whatever.
a soulless abomination. What? What is this detail that I did not know about?
Oh, that's in my background thing.
Oh yeah, his soul was stolen by a wizard. Which was not the wizard you fought, by the way.
Nope.
On that note, yeah, this is like a Chieftain Changston party so that everyone knows that you are no longer to be considered soft skills. That essentially your crimes are forgiven, etc., etc., etc. Going through the fast version of the generic speech.
Yeah.
And with that, you are given downtime until the next adventure, which you are assured by the chieftain at the end of the party that you will eventually be called upon. Because there's something they need to take care of that they really can't just send their reserves at.
Vumi's, during the downtime, Vumi's pesters Ichiki to help him learn the
Translate the
cure
yes.
wounds. Like Ichiki goes to sleep, and the first thing he sees when he wakes up is Vumi's glowing eyes and a gleaming smile. He basically sits at the foot of the bed and says, "Hi, please."
Hello.
But yes, between this and the next adventure, there will be a downtime of around a couple of weeks, which will give you some time to research some spells, do some things,
Nice.
get your downtime activities done.
We only got one level up today, right?
Yes.
Got it.
Alright, so can I record having cure wounds into my spells now?
Yes.
Yes. We'll just say that you all expend some effort. You probably get like some other... Like the other sorcerers are like curious about this because divine magic is kind of weird. I mean, like there is the cleric, but they usually get their magic from the dragon. So they're all kind of interested in what this is. Not to mention they're also high on the party, so they're like, ooh, sure, why not?
Well, it's not like this thing is gonna disappear, so I suppose I can just translate it and teach everybody who wants to learn it.
Oh, so there is a dragon living nearby, right?
Technically speaking, you do have a dragon, yes.
What color?
And he didn't eat me when he once looked at me.
You are the Red Paw tribe, and it's a red dragon.
Cool.
He must be indifferent to me. I'm so excited.
I'm looking at the spell Aganasa Scorcher, and the component for that is a red dragon scale.
You'd have to ask super nicely. What spell's it called?
Because it's
Aganasa Scorcher.
Heck, that's a fancy name.
There's probably just
yeah
a
that
supply
that
of-
spell component. It's basically give me a butt. Have you seen that give me a butt thing?
By the way, the red dragon is called Mosero.
Nice.
He is they're a slim dragon. They wink a lot.
Wink?
Yeah, they tend to wink. You happen to know that they like fashion, and that they are described as cute by the priests.
It's the random generator, right?
Basically.
Described as cute
This is
by the
this is funny.
priest.
Oh wait, they're they're distinctly male. I just didn't write it down. As for a quick note, the Black Claw had a dragon called Ozga, who was indeed black in scales.
And they killed him. Was that
Nope.
because he was black?
You've not heard much of Ozga. Mosero talks about them sometimes, but you don't have like a status update, and you don't talk to the
Yeah,
dragon
but the
that much.
tribe lost the dragon. Did it not?
Did they?
Well, somehow the tribe disappeared. I would imagine that's because they lost the dragon. I think there was some word about that.
Well, the general point is that the Black Claw tribe ain't a no more. At least what you
Alright,
know.
and I think at this point, I might want to end the recording.
Fair
unless
enough.
there's something else that... unless there's something else that we want to add.
I'll cut off the
All right.
stream too.
So, okay, so for at the end of the session, I'd like to ask all of the guys, including the game master, as to what they as to the important lesson they learned during this session. So, Apo, what was the important thing that you learned today?
Don't breathe
Crossbows,
fire in the forest.
crossbow bolts
Yeah.
suck.
Huh?
Crossbow bolts in shoulders suck.
All right, Ichiki, what was the important thing that you learned today?
That I'm very easy to kill. Just notoriously easy.
Vumis, what did you learn? What was the important thing that you learned today? Cure wounds. Thank you, Vumis. And Sapphire, what was the important thing that you learned today?
If you try to deceive your enemies into thinking you're one of them, don't come from the direction of their enemies.
Thank you very much. That is the end of today's session.
Goodbye!
Thanks for tuning in.